Assalamu alaikum dear students, hope you all are fine and you are utilizing this time very effectively. And in up to now we have completed our whole syllabus which is mentioned, which was supposed to discuss in your T1 examinations. And now in from now we will move towards the syllabus which is meant for your U3 examination. And I hope that you have understood the syllabus which was meant up to cover up to which was meant for T1 examination. You have understood that topics very effectively. These topics will help us to learn to understand the topics which are mentioned in your U3 and T2 examinations. The very first topic which we have to start here is the quadrilaterals. So let us start it. We will do some basic concepts we will learn today in today's video lecture, and later we have to do lot of theorems here and questions, and we will resume, we will do as we have been doing in the previous video lectures. So what you know the quadrilateral? A quadrilateral is a four-sided figure, or you can say that it is a simple closed curve which is made up of four line segments. Yeah, or it is a polygon, you can say that quadrilateral is a polygon, four-sided polygon. So actually in this video lecture, in this topic, you have to study about the different types of quadrilaterals. First is parallelogram. What is parallelogram? A quadrilateral is said to be parallelogram if it is both the opposite sides are parallel. And in the later first, just remember that very first definition, and in the later after doing some theorems, some concepts, understanding some concepts, we will learn, we will define the parallelogram in another way. We will do that when we study about the properties of parallelogram. We will redefine the definition of parallelogram. For now, you have to remember that a very simple definition of parallelogram, that a quadrilateral is said to be parallelogram if its opposite sides are parallel and if its opposites, both pair of opposite sides are parallel. A quadrilateral is said to be parallelogram if it is both pair of opposite sides are parallel. A quadrilateral is said to be parallelogram if it is both pair of opposite sides are parallel. Let's understand this in this diagram. So if you look, ABCD, so AB is in this figure, AB is parallel to DC and AD is parallel to BC. So we can say that ABCD is a parallelogram. This figure is a parallelogram. What whenever you hear the name parallelogram, one thing immediately which should strike your mind is that opposite sides of parallelogram are parallel. First of all, just remember that the opposite sides of quadrilateral are parallel. And as I told you that after reading some concepts, we will redefine this parallelogram. We will define the parallelogram in another way after understanding some basic concepts. First for now, you have to remember that a quadrilateral is said to be parallelogram if it is both pair of opposite sides are parallel. This side is parallel to this side is parallel to this. Hope you will get it. Now another definition is rectangle. You have heard the name of the rectangle. You know that what is rectangle. It is opposite sides of rectangle are parallel and equal. and each angle is of each corner angle which is made at the corner is 90 degree. Let us define it. Rectangle. A rectangle is a parallelogram. We have defined it now, the parallelogram. What is parallelogram? A parallelogram is a quadrilateral having both pair of opposite side parallel. Now, from the definition of the parallelogram, we will define the various types of the parallelogram. Various types of parallelogram. Actually, rectangle is a special type of parallelogram. So, when we say, whenever you heard the rectangle, first of all, when you hear the name of the rectangle, first of all, it is a parallelogram. It is a type of parallelogram. But it is a what type of parallelogram? It has some properties. So a parallelogram is said to be rectangle if it is each angle is 90 degree. A parallelogram is said to be rectangle if it is each angle is 90 degree. Each angle is 90 degree. So like this angle is 90, this angle is 90, this angle is 90, this angle is 90. Actually these are equal. These are equal. Opposite sides of the rectangle are parallel and equal. So but we will not discuss this concept here, because I know as you know that when we read some more concepts regarding this, we will redefine the parallelogram at that point, and you can see that the opposite sides of parallelogram are also equal. We have to prove that in later. First of all, these are just the definitions. So a rectangle is said to be a parallelogram is said to be a rectangle if it is each angle is 90. So parallelogram, rectangle, it is a parallelogram, but it is which type of parallelogram? Having each angle 90. So we can say that every rectangle is a parallelogram. Every rectangle is a parallelogram. But every parallelogram is not a rectangle. Suppose you have a parallelogram here, say this is a parallelogram. It is not necessary that each angle should be 90 degree, but suppose you have a rectangle here. So whenever you heard the rectangle, here the rectangle, this angle, each angle is 90 degree. It is definition, but at the same time this is a parallelogram. So we can say that every rectangle is a parallelogram, but every parallelogram is not a rectangle. So in this figure, this ABCD, this is a rectangle. Hope you will get this concept. Now another concept is it is square. What is square? From the definition of the rectangle, actually this rectangle, this square is a type of a rectangle. It is which type of rectangle? Having all sides equal. A rectangle is said to be square if its all sides are equal. And when we say that it is a rectangle, so necessarily each angle is 90 degree, which is made at the corner. So we will define square. A rectangle. Square is also a rectangle, but special type of rectangle. Remember, first of all, we read parallelogram. Then rectangle is also a parallelogram, but special type of parallelogram. Square is a rectangle, but special type of rectangle. We will discuss it. A rectangle is said to be square if it is all sides are equal. All sides are equal. If it is all sides are equal, have a look. So if you look, this is a square, this is a rectangle, this is also a rectangle. Is it? Of course it is. What is a rectangle? A rectangle is a parallelogram, opposite side parallel, and each angle is 90. Each angle is 90 here also, but here the special property is that every side of this square are equal AB equals BC equals CD equals DA. So we have learned that a parallelogram, a rectangle is a parallelogram. A square is a rectangle. A square is a rectangle. We can say that every square is a rectangle, but every rectangle is not a square. In a similar way, we can say that every rectangle is a parallelogram, but every parallelogram is not a rectangle. And square is also a parallelogram. Why? Because this is rectangle, and rectangle, when this is rectangle is a type of parallelogram. So these all are parallelograms. Square is a parallelogram, rectangle is also a parallelogram. So we will keep this session till now, and from in the next video lecture we will do some more definitions of this. We will study some more types of the kinds of the quadrilateral, and we will do some theorems which are mentioned in your textbooks. And I hope you will get this. If anybody among you have any confusion or doubt in this, please let me know that. Thank you, class.